coming in. Yep, so yeah, people are still coming in from the waiting room, but I got a little late start, so I'll just get moving, recording the class now. I'm going to start with an exercise called a word cloud generator. Has anybody made a word cloud before? Okay, cool. This will be fun. And I'm going to use this word cloud generator the first part of class, just to make sure it works, and then you can all do it. Those of you with kids, it'll be fun. Here comes Bibiana. Yes. So after we play with the word cloud generator, we're going to review Heimlich's experiment that we learned about on Monday, and then Tuesday. And then we're going to make 2 word clouds based on the 2 concepts I introduced, the Hippocratic Oath and the scientific method. And for those of you in my evening class, we went over these, but we'll go into detail. 2 vocab words, unorthodox and unethical. So those are 2 new vocab words that we'll use for discussion today. Then we will put break twice, that's incorrect. We're going to play some vocab typhoon, haven't done that in a while. And then I'll introduce the next writing assignment based on this story. Here comes Israel, great. Almost a full house today, I love it. So that is the plan. And I'm already recording the class. So if you missed anything, you could go back. Any questions before we move forward? Okay, moving right along. Okay, so a word cloud. I'll show you how it works. Since it's the morning, I'm going to get everybody to give me words related to breakfast. So popular breakfast foods. Maybe you're not a big breakfast eater, just pretend. Okay. All right. So let's go. Everybody just give me one word, something I'll start with right this. Cereal, there's one. Fraternities, you can give me another.
Pancakes.
Pancakes, okay. Okay. And if anybody doesn't want to turn their mic on, you can write them all in the chat, that's fine. Any more?
Coffee.
Coffee, yes, I'm drinking that right now. Coffee. What is it?
Croissant.
Ooh, nice. Q-U, how do you spell croissant? Q-U-O-S-S-A-T.
No,
Yeah.
no. C.
Oh, hold on a second. Forgot. Hold on a second. I haven't spelled croissant in forever. Okay.
C-R. O.
Oh, C. What's wrong with me? C-U-C-R-O-I-S-A-N-T. Croissant. Yeah. Why did I think there was a Q? I need more coffee. That's what I need. Croissant. So,
Bacon.
bagel. Okay. What else?
Bacon.
Eggs.
Bacon. Bacon. Eggs.
Eggs. No. Orange juice.
Orange juice. Okay, let's keep it going. Anything else?
Waffles.
Waffles. Delicious. Okay.
Milk.
Milk.
Fruit. Fruit.
Fruit.
Yogurt.
Yogurt. Okay, that's plenty.
Baked
Chocolate.
potato.
Chocolate? Or was that hot chocolate?
Of course.
Okay.
Baked potato.
Oh, nice. Okay. All right. Any more you want to throw in there?
French toast.
French toast. I got to put a capital F. What was the last one? Okay. All right, so here I go. Now, I've never done this before, we're going to do this together. I think you just press visualize and it works. Here we go. We can pick a font. Anyone like a particular font? Let's use this one. Okay. There we go. We got them all. Let's do, ooh, nice. We can pick a background. You want a white background, a black background? Rainbow, ocean?
White background is better.
Just a plain white background, okay. All right, okay, everybody. I've never done this before with this particular program, so let's see how the word cloud comes out. Let's have some fun. There it is. That's our word cloud. Okay. So yes, I thought it would be more vertical and horizontal, but okay, so that is our word cloud. And we're going to do this together in small groups when we discuss whether or not Dr. Heimlich was following both the scientific method and the Hippocratic Oath. So there we go, everybody. Here's our word cloud. I'm throwing it in a WhatsApp group. Okay. Breakfast word cloud. Enjoy. Okay, so that's it. So why I'm showing you that, you'll see. Last class, we looked at Heimlich's experiment. We did storyboards. He experimented on a dog to figure out a way to fight choking, but he needed to learn to know whether it would work on humans. How do you conduct an experiment on humans? We also know that it actually saved a celebrity's life, future president, which was discussed at the very beginning. Now, we learned a lot of these vocabulary words. We'll go back to like rib cage, nod, choking, airway, all that. But we didn't learn so much about these two concepts. Doctors have to take what's called a Hippocratic Oath. And they also have to follow what's called
Humans are sometimes too
a scientific method. So I got two resources right here. We dug into this a little bit last night, but we're going to go deep. So the Hippocratic Oath, it's named after a Greek philosopher, Hippocrates, and it's considered a creed. Does anybody know what a creed is? C-R-E-E-D.
It's a lot of people.
Not a
Multitude.
lot of people. No.
No.
It's a
Like an
similar
oath
to
or-
an oath, yes. Yeah. It's a synonym of the oath. So the Hippocratic Oath, an oath is a creed. That's why it's there. The Hippocratic Oath, also known as the Physician's Creed, like a guideline to follow. So, when we look at a minute, we're going to look first at a Hippocratic oath. But first, I want everybody to guess. I'm going to write on the right side of the screen. What do you think should be the principles, the guidelines of a doctor? What are some rules they should follow? And I'll type on the right side of the screen. I want to just generate. What do you think? Some type of guidelines a doctor should follow. Like, for instance, if I want to become a doctor so that I can prescribe as much addictive medication to people as possible and make lots of money from drug companies? Am I following some type of ethical creed as a doctor? And I will also tell people that they need as many surgeries as they can get, because surgeries are how I make a lot of money. So if you come into me and you cough, you definitely need a surgery. And I'm going to prescribe you to a lot of pills. And that's how I'm going to get my third vacation house. Am I following some type of physician's creed? Jackie's saying, no.
No, I think that's the opposite, right? Like the oath, the guidelines should be to be honest with your patient and to save their life wherever it takes, but it shouldn't be a business.
Yeah, so honest with patients. There you go. That's a good one. Let's hear from somebody else. Fraternities, what do you think should be a principle that a doctor follows?
I don't know, teacher. I try to think about that because I know creed is like the religion, right?
Not
It's
necessarily.
similar. Not necessarily.
Religions may very well have creeds, but this is a secular concept.
Okay.
Meaning it's nothing to do with religion. Say it again, Monica.
It's something doctrine. I don't know the pronunciation. Doctrine.
Doctrine. Yeah. These are all synonyms. Oath, doctrine, or you
Yeah.
could say, make it really simple, like guidelines. Certain things you should and should not do. Like if I'm a police, like let's say fraternities, you're a police officer, you see somebody driving 120 miles an hour past an elementary school and almost killing a bunch of kids. You pull them over, you're going to write them a speeding ticket, you're going to say, and then they hand you $200 and say, let's just forget about this. What should be the guidelines as a agent of the state that you should follow? Oh, wow, I could just take the money and pretend I didn't see anything. Or no, I'm going to write this person a ticket. I'm going to see what's going on. What's the guideline? That's essentially a creed, an oath, a doctrine, all these. So what we're doing is we're talking about
maybe it's save life and help people, maybe.
Save lives.
Life.
Help people. Okay, there we go. So do what you can to save lives and help people. Okay. Let's hear from somebody else. Fraternities, you can look on the video panel, all the names, and you can just choose somebody randomly. That's the best part. Choose anybody you want. Israel, give us something you think a doctor should follow.
Yes, sir. They have to use all their knowledge to save lives.
I'm going to talk about this. Be knowledgeable. Keep study. Go to medical school. Don't just Photoshop your degree. Actually go to medical school and know what you're doing before you can help a patient. Israel, you can choose somebody else.
Let me think who is here to send a shot.
You got
Clary.
Cloudy. The winner, Cloudy.
Hello. Give the right medicine.
Okay.
It's maybe promise. I don't know. Is the good pronunciation?
Say it again.
Promise. I don't know.
Promise.
Yeah, promise.
Promise.
Yeah.
Promise what? Because a creed is a promise.
Yeah, you promise you heard the patient or the people. Yeah.
Promise to help people. Let's just say promise to help people. Okay.
They swear be ethical with their knowledge and with their patients.
All right. And this word ethical is going to come up later in the class. Be ethical with patients. All right. Okay. Sandra, who would you like to go next? You could choose anybody you want.
Okay, I choose Doris.
Doris.
Hi.
Hello, Doris.
Peter. I try to think because I have on a mind to promise to help people, but so
Yeah, there's a lot of good ones up there already.
yeah.
Well, physicians, people in the medical field have helped you and changed your life. Can you think of something to add to your experience?
You need the doctor have the confidentiality. Yeah.
Be confidential. Yeah,
Yeah.
don't share private information with everybody.
Describe the correct.
Right. So when you tell somebody they have, cancer, don't post it on Instagram for everybody to see.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I think we're good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to keep these up here. And I'm going to play the video with the closed captions on. And as you listen to this video, write down a few other vocab words and we can add them to a word cloud, to the next word cloud. Here we go. So get a pencil and paper ready, write down new vocab words that you see on the screen. I'm going to make sure the captions are up here. Here we go, captions, show the captions. All right, so in the sound, there'll be captions just to the lower right-hand side of the video. And when you hear new vocab words related to the Hippocratic Oath, the Physician's Creed, just write them down and throw them up there. Here we go.
I solemnly pledge to consecrate my life to the service of humanity.
I will give my teachers the respect and gratitude that is their due.
I will practice my profession with conscience and dignity.
The health of my patient will be my first consideration.
I will respect the secrets that are confided in me, even after the patient has died.
I will maintain by all the means in my power
The honor and the noble traditions of the medical profession.
My colleagues will be my sisters and my brothers.
I will not permit considerations of age, disease, or disability.
Creed, ethnic origin, gender, nationality,
Social standing, or any other factor.
to intervene between my duty
and my patient.
I will maintain the utmost respect for human life.
I make these promises solemnly.
I make these promises solemnly,
freely,
and
upon my honor.
Okay, no need for the dramatic music, but so we've got Physician's Creed, solemnly pledge to consecrate my life to the service of humanity. What's a word that might summarize that? consecrating my life to the service of humanity. Sounds pretty noble.
Teacher, it's incredible because they don't say save lives, but they say serve, you know,
Yes.
service.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah.
it's the same, it's the similar, but it's incredible. They say that. They don't say that.
That's correct. Yeah, yeah. They don't see themselves as like, I'm not going to put on a cape and save the day. I'm not going to try to be Superman. Serve humanity. So whatever you're doing it for some greater purpose. You may not be saving people, you're just a human being, but how about this? I will give my teachers the respect and gratitude they are due. What is that all about? I like it.
I will give my teachers the respect.
What is that all? What's a way we could summarize that? What's that all about?
Teachers the respect and gratitude that is their due.
I think teacher is, if you are the good doctor, if you are the good professional, is you respect your teacher because he's teach something, you know? I think so. I don't know, it's the same.
You're onto something. Well, essentially, it's the profession is this. Like we think about, would a profession like this, or any, would a profession? Here's a question. Does a job change? Does a job change, or does constantly change, or does it stay the same?
I think their job change every time because technology and medicine, it's related, no? So they need to learn all the time.
Yes. So yeah, it's essentially that recognizing that the job is constantly changing because the world is constantly changing, and therefore gathering knowledge from others is crucial. Bibiana, how would you summarize that? I will give my teachers the respect and gratitude that they're due. It's not just the formality. Oh, that's my teacher, I should respect them. It's, wait a minute, I need more information to do my job constantly. How would you summarize that in more simple language?
I think it's something difficult to summarize. I understand what they mean because, of course, teachers, they carry with all the knowledge for a lot of time, and then they pass it in generations. At least with medicine, that's what happens, no? So I think it is like you have to respect the tradition, the teachers that are teaching you. So I don't really know how to summarize it.
Because I think she say because the teachers teach you, and she go to show what she learned with the teacher.
Okay, how about
like being grateful?
Yes.
Oh, show gratitude to for knowledge. Oh, how about this? What Doris just said? Be grateful for knowledge. Like essentially, Dr. Heimlich thinks he has a way to stop people from choking. So the common thing to do is you create an experiment, get other people to help you in the profession who can guide you through this experiment, and then publish the findings of this experiment and go through that process. It's called scholarly research, academic scholarship. So if like somebody develops a medication They can't just say, oh, I'm just gonna come to my house and buy these pills. You have to go through some type of clinical trial, release it to market, that sort of thing. So be grateful for the knowledge, the whole concept of working together with other professionals and teachers. Here we go. Wait. The next one there. I will respect the secrets that are confined in me, even after the patient has died. Wow, I like that one. It's kind of already mentioned being confidential, but even after death, the patient tells you a secret that's only for you. That secret stays with you. That's pretty amazing. Let's see. Let's look at this next one.
Teacher, but in some case, when the people has a secret, maybe can save another life, you can break the rule. I think so.
Oh yeah, fraternities is going into what we discussed last night. Is it okay to break rules? Sometimes, yes. Fraternities is picking up from last night. So perhaps sometimes an oath of your profession may need to be broken. Who knows? Perhaps. Very interesting, but that's a subjective question. Good point, fraternities. What does this mean? I will maintain by all means in my power the honor and noble traditions of
Honor and the noble traditions of the medical profession.
What is that? Maintain and honor the noble traditions of the medical profession. What's that all about?
I think the honors of the medical profession is serve. Like you're here to serve people. So it's not only save their life, it is also being there with them, you know? Like sometimes when you really have a hard sickness or something like that, you need someone to follow the process with you.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. So what I'm going to do right now is because I've got these words, oh wait, I got to write that down. Behave honorably. How about that? I know it's pretty general, but okay. So now I'm going to leave the slide. The words are going to stay on the screen here, but I'm just going to quickly import them to this word cloud. All right. So for our benefit, new word cloud. Here we go. All right. Honorable. This looks kind of. Maybe I'll just erase. Yeah, I'll just erase all these words. Well, some of them. Honorable. Shout out what everybody thinks. Behave honorably. Help people. Knowledgeable. Knowledge. Gratitude. Service.
Professional, teacher.
Professional. There you go.
Confident.
Confidence, yes. Okay. So we got service. There we go. Whoop. Service. Knowledge.
Teacher, but service it's twice.
Did I put service twice? Oh,
yes.
Thank you very much. Running out. Respectful, yes. All right. Ethical. There we go. Now we got some good vocab words. Honesty.
Dignity, dignity or dignity?
Dignity. I like that. There you
Dignity.
Dignity. Dignity. Ethics. Honorable. Be noble. That's a word featured in the Hippocratic Oath. I should say the English translation of the Hippocratic Oath.
Commitment.
Say it again.
Commitment. Commitment.
Confidence? What
No.
is it?
Committed. I don't know. Is the word correct?
Spell it for me.
Commitment.
Oh, wait, I see it. Maybe it's in the chat.
I can write in the chat.
Commitment.
Commitment. Okay, oh, yeah, sure. Oh, commitment. Oh, yeah. Commitment. Yeah, sure. Okay, that'll work. Sounds good. All right, we got our word list. Sounds good. Let's apply it. Anybody want a volcano, rainbow, ocean? Get some colors in there.
Ocean.
Ocean. Let's get some colors. Here we go. Ocean. All right. You still want white? You want to do black or checker?
Yes.
Was that a yes for black or yes for white?
White.
Okay, keep the white background. Okay, everybody, here we go. All right, so there is our word cloud for the Hippocratic Oath. Excellent. So, as we look into Dr. Heimlich's method to get his Heimlich maneuver out to the public, we're going to keep these words in mind regarding the Hippocratic Oath. Was he following the physician's creed, the Hippocratic Oath? So, word cloud for the Hippocratic Oath. There it is. All right. So when we go into the story, there we are. Picking up where we left off. We finished with the experiment. Yeah. 1840. They realize it works.
Less traditional strategy.
I can still see the words up here on the screen.
Ties a string around it just in case anything goes wrong, and places it in the dog's throat. Heimlich and the technician exchange a look. This is a real test. People don't choke on tracheal tubes. They choke on food, especially steak. Heimlich pushes upward on the dog's diaphragm. It works. Heimlich is onto something. The motion is simple. So simple, anyone could learn it. Now, we just have to prove it works on humans. How are you going to do that? It's a good question. Heimlich can't just go around choking people with the hope that his experimental method will save them. And even if he could, it would take years of clinical trials for the procedure to get approval, leaving thousands of people to choke to death in the meantime.
So the words that just flashed on the screen, I'm going to play that again. Now he has to prove that it works on humans. How? Well, you have to get approval to do a clinical trial. That takes time. People are dying constantly in America. What we learned last class, it was a real thing. People were choking to death constantly. So he wants to go fast. How is he going to get his method out there? And as I say this, that's the guy right there, and he's demonstrating on a TV celebrity how to stop somebody from choking. So knowing that he's trying to get a little bit creative, let's take a look at our word cloud again, if we read these words, physicians are expected to be confident, professional, honorable, noble, dignified, respectful. Okay, we'll keep and ethical. Let's keep all of these in mind as we learn how he got his experiment tested on humans.
Just have to prove it works on humans. How are you going to do that? It's a good question. Heimlich can't just go around choking people with the hope that his experimental method will save them. And even if he could, it would take years of clinical trials for the procedure to get approval, leaving thousands of people to choke to death in the meantime. Heimlich's confident his method will work on humans, but he'll need another, less traditional strategy to prove it.
A commercial happens here. I skip ahead. There it is.
With their powerful matching technology, now listeners of American Innovations, ZipRecruiter, be smart. It's spring 1974.
All right, so for students who were with me last night, don't spoil the ending. You know exactly what's going to happen right now. Don't say it. So he's going to somehow get an experiment done on humans. If your name is not, Doris Franertes, or Nankari or Fatima, Gracie, you missed last night, so you can go ahead and guess. If you're not any one of those people, try to guess. He's got an idea to do that same experiment with dogs on people. What do you think he's going to do?
He can go to the maybe state house, maybe because it's in that time was epidemic. He
There you go.
can
He's
stay
gonna go to
pending. Maybe someone is sick and he can try.
There you go. He's going to go to government. He's going to get some type of
A lot of
endorsement from government.
scientific, a lot of science people try with themselves or with the family around.
Yeah. He's going to do it he's going to do it at home. He's going to get somebody at home to choke him. Yeah. He's going to choke himself. He's going to eat. He's going to cut up a steak. He's going to get a nice carne asada and eat it really, really fast and start choking and say, okay, try it.
Yeah, it's a little different here.
At the same time.
Yes. Fatima, what do you think? Oh wait, Fatima, you know the answer. Are you gonna
Yeah,
give
I
away the
know.
answer?
Just I wanna see. It's here. It's a different. It's not medicine. It's not. It's something you need to choke. Then gonna try on.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Is he just gonna like sit? Is he gonna be sitting in the bus and randomly start like take a piece of food and throw it in somebody's mouth and say, "You're choking. Let me help you." Anyone else have an idea? How is he going to do the experiment on humans? Okay, so now everybody who knows the answer, you can join in. All right, he gets his message out to the public. Who can tell us how he does it? Anybody who knows the answer, go ahead. Doris, Fatima, Franertes, go ahead. You can tell us.
He used the newspaper.
That's right, Bibiana. He used the newspaper. Now, he was clever. Did he just write one article and the Washington Post and the LA Times and the Boston Globe says, "You're a genius, front page for you, sir"?
No, he's crazy. he was asking other people to do the experiment and then go back to him and tell him if it works or it doesn't work.
Did everybody hear what Bibiana said?
Yes.
She's absolutely correct. But there's another step. He actually writes an article, sends it to a more well-known writer who then gets the message out there to many national papers around America. And he asks people to try it. He says, "Hey, you see somebody choking? hit him right there in the diaphragm because I did it on a dog. So he asks other people to try it and tell him if it works. So here, let's take a listen.
Dr. Heimlich believes he's got a way to prove that his anti-choking method will work on humans. It's unorthodox and possibly unethical, but Heimlich is confident it will work. He's drafted an article describing his method. In it, he's upfront about the fact that he's only attempted the maneuver on dogs, but he ends the article with an unusual pitch. He asks readers to try his method if they see someone choking and let him know if it works. He argues that disseminating the approach to the public and seeing if choking deaths decline is the only way to find out if it works. The key is getting his information to the public. Heimlich just needs to find a publisher.
I didn't play this part last night. Oh, I did actually. So I'll replay this again. He wants to just get information to the public and have total strangers conduct the experiment for him and tell him if it works. A word for this is called anecdotal. So instead of maybe choking himself or getting someone to volunteer for an experiment and having, you know, other professionals around to do it, he tells normal people, hey, give it a shot. You see somebody choking, hit them right at the bottom of the rib cage, right there. Wrap your arms around them and just go like that, and see if the food flies out. So the evidence he starts to gather is anecdotal. An anecdote is a story told by someone else. So let's say Jackie told me that the soccer field at the Pingree school the grass was purple. I say, okay, that's different. So we're going to see a purple field on Saturday. Got it. No problem. That counts as anecdotal evidence. And I'm trusting that what the information that she's giving me is correct. So he's telling people around the country to try it. I'll play that part again.
It's spring 1974. Dr. Heimlich believes he's got a way to prove that his anti-choking method will work on humans. It's unorthodox and possibly unethical, but Heimlich is confident it will work. He's drafted an article describing his method. In it, he's upfront about the fact that he's only attempted the maneuver on dogs, but he ends the article with an unusual pitch. He asks readers to try his method if they see someone choking and let him know if it works. He argues that disseminating the approach to the public and seeing if choking deaths decline is the only way to find out if it works. The key is getting his information to the public. Heimlich just needs to find a publisher.
Journal of Emergency Medicine. How can I help you?
Yeah, hi. This is Dr. Henry Heimlich. I've developed a method to save people who are choking, and I want your journal to publish it. This isn't the first time Heimlich is published in this journal. Considered a lightweight journal, Emergency Medicine does not require its articles to be evaluated by another scientist before publication. Although publication in it is not considered scholarly, Heimlich has few options. He can't publish in a peer-reviewed journal without proving his method works in humans, and he can't prove it works in humans unless the public knows to try it.
Oh, Dr. Heimlich, it's good to hear from you. We'd be happy to publish your article.
There's one more thing. I need you to send an advance copy of the article to Arthur Snyder.
I don't know about that.
Arthur Snyder is a medical reporter whose column is syndicated by hundreds of newspapers across the country. At the time, it was considered borderline unethical for doctors to take their discoveries straight to the public, and they were greatly discouraged from talking to the popular press. Look, I know it's not the way things are done, but almost 4,000 people are dying of choking every year. We have an opportunity to save them, but people need to know what to do. And I hate to say it, but emergency medicine doesn't have the audience that Snyder does.
Oh, let me think about it.
The editor eventually acquiesced to Heimlich's request, and on June 16, 1974, Arthur Snyder's article titled "A New Method to Save Food Chokers" appeared in newspapers across the country. Exactly 1 week later, the Seattle Times reported that a man had read Snyder's article and used Heimlich's maneuver to save a choking person. It was the first story of many. People wrote to Heimlich from all over the country with their success stories. One woman even wrote that she had managed to save herself by throwing herself against her balcony railing. Most exciting to Heimlich was the story of a 4-year-old girl who used the maneuver to save her 2-year-old brother.
So that's compelling.
Know what to do. And I hate to say it, but emergency medicine doesn't have the audience that Snyder does.
Oh, let me think about it.
The editor eventually acquiesced to Heimlich's request, and on June 16, 1974, Arthur Snyder's article titled "A New Method to Save Food Chokers" appeared in newspapers across the country. Exactly 1 week later, the Seattle Times reported that a man had read Snyder's article and used Heimlich's maneuver to save a choking person. It was the first story of many. People wrote to Heimlich from all over the country with their success stories. One woman even wrote that she had managed to save herself by throwing herself against her balcony railing. Most exciting to Heimlich was the story of a 4-year-old girl who used the maneuver to save her 2-year-old brother.
All right, so as far as Heimlich is concerned, this is a victory. I'm going to copy our word cloud. There it is. So the Hippocratic Oath implies confidence, being ethical, being professional, being honorable, showing gratitude, being respectful. And this is where we can get into an interesting debate after the break. He's getting all these letters from people around the country saying, it worked. Thank you, Dr. Heimlich. Thank you. I saved my cousin from choking. I saved this person from choking. I saved that person from choking. Is Dr. Heimlich following the Hippocratic Oath? Think about it. We'll come back in a minute, but I want to get your initial thoughts.
I think partially no, teacher,
Tell us more.
because the confidentiality is one of the most important concepts of the Hippocratic. And he was good, but the confidentiality wasn't there.
Did you wait? Did you say the the Hippocratic Oath? Yeah. So, at what points did he break? Did he violate his oath as a doctor?
I think he make it public, and I think that wasn't confidentiality or private for someone. It was public. But he did the job. But...
Yeah, that's interesting because somebody sends him a letter saying, I saved my whatever, and he's using this to tell the world, look, it works, it works.
Yes.
Ah, very interesting. Well, here's a question for everybody. Is he saving lives? Yes or no?
Yes, still now.
Yes.
His technique, they use it till now. It's
Yeah.
I think he helping people. But if we back to the story, it's too hard to believe someone.
Well, if he is saving lives, does that mean that he is, if he's saving lives, he could arguably be following the Hippocratic Oath? Is he doing it in a noble and professional and honorable way?
I know.
without confidentiality. Everything on
Right,
the
right, right.
without confidentiality.
Exactly. Exactly. He's let's go back to what Fraternity said. He's breaking all the rules. Essentially, he's
Yes.
breaking every rule there is to break as a professional in this field. He's doing everything you're not supposed to do, but he is in fact he's arguably saving lives. But here's another question. He's doing what's called cherry picking evidence. And we'll get into this with the scientific method. He's only asking for the information he wants to hear. Is it possible that somebody tries this and something bad happens?
Yes, maybe because maybe the people they don't know how to use it. Because
right,
only
you can hurt somebody. Seriously, you can seriously hurt somebody just pounding on their abdomen. You can break somebody's ribs. You can puncture their lungs.
Especially in this time, just you reading in the newspaper, not a video, not showing exactly how that work.
All right, good work, everybody. Let's take a 10-minute break and we'll discuss this further when we come back. All right. I like what Viviana said earlier. Viviana said, "Oh, he's crazy." Does anybody think he's crazy?
Yes. In the first time, getting stuff crazy.
All right. So here we go. Let's okay. Let's go to, all right. Okay, 10-minute timer. I've been using the dog. Let's get 10-minute timer. Dancing animals. Yeah. Okay, everybody. Yeah, we're gonna have a dancing dragon for the 10-minute timer. Hope you like it. Okay, once the ads are finished, we'll have our 10-minute timer with the dancing dragon, and it will be worth it. Okay, there it is. Take a break, everybody. Get a cup of coffee and watch the dancing dragon. Or don't. Step away from the computer, do what you need to do.
Teacher. Teacher.
Almost that time. Here we go.
Okay. Mhm.
Oh my goodness. And time's up. Okay. All right, we're back. I realized I wasn't actually sharing my screen, but that was the dancing dragon countdown. So yes, next time. I can't believe I forgot to share my screen. All right, sorry if that was confusing. So yes, there was the 10-minute break. We are back. Did Dr. Heimlich follow the Hippocratic Oath? There's the question. So did he follow the Hippocratic Oath? Let's discuss it in some quick breakout rooms. Here we go. Does everybody understand the question?
Can you say it again, teacher, please?
Sure. Did Heimlich follow the Hippocratic Oath? Because arguably, you could make an argument that he was, if he's saving lives.
You don't follow, teacher.
Okay. Let's go into breakout rooms and discuss in detail. Here we go. I'll make 3 quick breakout rooms. Okay, so I'm going to go back to sharing my screen. Can't believe I forgot to share my screen on the 10-minute break. All right, so did Heimlich follow the Hippocratic Oath? Does anybody argue that he did? Because you can make your own interpretation that perhaps doing what he did was ethical. I don't know. Does anyone argue that he did?
No.
Okay, so that's interesting. We all agree that he broke his oath as a physician, as a doctor. But a few of you argue that it was a good thing he did.
I think for me, he believed himself a lot. Maybe he believed the idea. He said, "Oh, nobody is gonna die." Maybe he believed himself a lot about the where he but doesn't matter what, because it's the health. He need to get like if doesn't matter if you 100% it's gonna be work. You're gonna have like 50% it's gonna work, 50% it's gonna be risky. You need like as a as a doctor, you need to be yeah. For me, finally it's work because we still use the technique till now, but the first of all, the first where he did first step, it's a little risky.
Now I'm going to show you the next part. Or anyone else have any thoughts to share? It's true, it is still his legacy today that.
Yeah, but you know, and that time he only post something in the newspaper, so he trying to show people how to do his maneuver. So the people have to do with their families. So they, like, for me, he doesn't broke any rules because he put only in the newspaper. And he never tried to experiment with humans or something. He tried to give tips for families, try to save their families from shocking, you know.
For the word borderline unethical, ethical or unethical? Publishing in the newspaper his experiment on what he found worked on dogs. Is that ethical or unethical? What does everybody think? Is it the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do?
It's not. but works.
It works.
Yeah, it's unethical, but works.
That's
So
interesting. You could say it doesn't, ethics don't matter. It's working.
yeah, but work and not is not dangerous for anyone. So maybe if trying new medicine, maybe if you are trying new medicine, something dangerous, it's bad. But it's only you have to pressure the chest, and that's all. So maybe they don't have any consequence for practice that maneuver.
Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know.
The thing is that the maneuver didn't have no clinical
Trials, yeah, no clinical trials.
so it wasn't a scientific method, right? So this is the only thing, because to be a scientific method, you have to repeat it in the lab. So, but he didn't do it because it was so dangerous. So in that point, he was ethical because he didn't do it any risky or dangerous with the human. So he only shared the information with no clinical trials, but only the information.
But he wasn't ethical because he's a doctor. He knows how we are, and he must understand what is the process to make a real experiment. I think he wasn't ethical and was good, but it was a kind of game or something like that. But he wasn't ethical.
That's interesting. Jackie mentioned the scientific method. I'm gonna this video gives a definition of the scientific method, and I'm just gonna ask a quick question. Did he follow the scientific method? Jackie already argued no, but let's take a look.
Humans are sometimes too creative for their own good, and like a talented lawyer, they can easily find convincing explanations for things that are wrong. To avoid this when studying the world around us, the best thing we have so far is the so-called scientific method, which for the most part revolves around 1. Observing the world around us. For example, our tendency to want to consume stuff now rather than wait. So the appeal of instant gratification. 2. Articulating a hypothesis around what we just observed. For example, the idea that people prefer to just consume right now if they are not rewarded for saying no. 3. Using that hypothesis to make a prediction. For example, that a group of people you reward for delaying gratification will do it more frequently than a group you just ask nicely. 4. By using tools like experiments, you test these predictions in the real world. You can, let's say, have 2 groups of children and ask them to wait 20 minutes without drinking the glass of tasty lemonade that's in front of them. For one group, we just ask nicely, and for the other, we tell them they'll be rewarded with a small toy if they wait. If the group that's rewarded proves to be more patient, and better yet, if other similar experiments show the same thing, we're onto something. While by no means perfect, the scientific method is remarkably effective.
So simple definition of scientific method: observation, hypothesis, experiment. Did he follow the scientific method?
Observation, yes.
He observed choking was a problem. Okay. Did he make a hypothesis?
I think he did it, and then that's why he tried with the dog, no? At first. And the experiments weren't on his own. The experiment was something that other people do for him.
Yeah, this is the weird thing. He just said, everybody try it and tell me if it works.
Yeah, but he was supposed to observe to make sure that nothing wrong happened with the people.
Right.
But observe directly, to make sure that everything going okay with the people who collaborate with his experiment. He was supposed.
Hey, everybody, give it a shot. Try it. The whole world, try it. So, the next part of the story is this. What do you think? Here's a picture of him on TV doing the Heimlich maneuver. What do you think the reaction was from other doctors, other professionals to this? That he's not doing the traditional process for this. He's just telling the world to try it and tell him if it works. How do you think other doctors felt about this?
Humans are something.
It wasn't the greatest reaction. These two organizations, he tried to get the Heimlich maneuver endorsed. An endorsement means like, encouraged, recognized and encouraged. So the American Red Cross refused to recognize the Heimlich maneuver. And even today, they don't even call it the Heimlich maneuver. They'll say, try back blows, hitting somebody's back, or abdominal thrusts. And the reason is they, just to not give him credit, they refuse to use his name. They call it an abdominal thrust, meaning pushing on the stomach, and they refuse to recognize any of his work. And this organization called the National Academy of Sciences. So both of these refuse to endorse the Heimlich maneuver. Why wouldn't they? That's the next part of the story. So that he runs into trouble being recognized by the American Red Cross and the National Academy of Sciences. And oh yeah, has everybody heard of CPR?
I was actually about to ask you that because I'm kind of confused. Isn't it the same thing or kind of similar?
Really, really similar, except CPR doesn't have much. Well, here's the similarities. CPR is to get somebody's heart and lungs working again when they stop. So if somebody has a heart attack or they can't breathe, or what, if somebody stopped breathing, and you call an ambulance before the professionals come, try to listen to see if they're breathing and stuff like that. So like if a lifeguard at a swimming pool would use CPR to get somebody to breathe again. So there are some similarities. The Red Cross had already at this point endorsed CPR. And that's cardio, whatever, respiratory. I forgot what that was. The same people who pioneered the practice of CPR would not endorse the Heimlich maneuver. He became enemies with the people who created CPR. So basically, Dr. Heimlich, he becomes this, what we might call a pariah. He's like this untouchable person in the medical field. Because he's going around established rules of ethics and traditions in the field, other doctors and other organizations refuse to recognize him completely. And the question is, why? Why wouldn't these organizations endorse his maneuver? We'll take a listen to the next part. Here we go. So next part of the story, he's got people writing him letters saying, thank you, I saved my cousin, I saved my grandma, you're a hero. But for other doctors, it's a different story.
People only use Heimlich's maneuver after this. Look, I know it's not the way things are done, but almost forced to save her 2-year-old brother. Heimlich considered these stories proof that he'd achieved his goal of creating a procedure that could be used by anyone, anywhere, to save a choking victim. The American Red Cross, however, begged to differ. As the country's leading first aid training organization, the Red Cross refused to endorse Heimlich's maneuver. At least, not completely. Instead, they recommended that people only use Heimlich's maneuver after they had tried back blows. Heimlich thought that back blows were a dangerous waste of time, even going so far as to call them death blows. But back blows had one thing going for them that Heimlich's maneuver didn't: hard evidence in the form of a scientific study. Dr. Archer Gordon, one of the developers of CPR, had done studies with baboons and anesthetized humans, including his own wife, and proved that back blows could loosen objects lodged in an airway. Heimlich argued that loosening was a nebulous and unprovable term, but the Red Cross stuck by back blows as the primary way to aid a choking person. Heimlich decided that he needed to take the fight over the Red Cross's head to the National Academy of Sciences.
So I've got a poster from the American Red Cross, which exists today, which you might see on a wall somewhere. Here it is. So that's from the vocabulary generated from the first part of the story. Here it is on the right-hand side. They say, number one, this is the American Red Cross, right there, there's their logo. Number one, somebody's choking, back blows. And I remember taking a child CPR class. They teach you to do that. Hit the child in the back, turn them upside down, and boom, boom, boom. And this guy, Archer Gordon, if you Google the name, he's one of the pioneers of CPR. He had actually done tests on anesthetized monkeys and humans, including his own wife, put to sleep, and did a controlled experiment to prove that hitting somebody in the back could possibly loosen something. Heimlich had a problem. He said, loosening it is a waste of time. You want air to shoot directly out and, get the person to stop choking. So he would argue with the Red Cross, don't do this. Don't do this at all. Only do my method. My method is the only method. And that's why he would basically become an enemy of the Red Cross forever. Even today, he's dead, and they refuse to put his name on their posters. So this is a Red Cross poster today. If you take like a CPR class, it'll say abdominal thrusts. So no mention of Heimlich. So even though this is exactly what he created with the dog experiment, there's no his name is not on it. They'll refuse to put his name there. So his next step is to say, all right, forget the Red Cross. I'm going to go to the National Academy of Sciences. They'll agree with me. And then I'll live on and forever. My name will be synonymous with saving people's lives. Let's see how the National Academy of Sciences treats Dr. Heimlich.
He knew that if he could get the NAS to endorse his maneuver, the Red Cross would follow suit. It's June 1976, and the National Academy of Sciences Committee on Emergency Medical Services is holding a 2-day conference on emergency airway management in Washington, D.C. All the big names in the field are attending, including Peter Safer, the inventor of mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, and James Jude, who co-invented CPR with Dr. Gordon. This year's hot topic is the best way to treat choking victims. Heimlich is making his presentation to the committee, and he's fired up. My maneuver has already saved 500 people in 2 years that we know about. That is proof that it works. Can the same be said of back blows? I mean, death blows? The committee chair cuts through the commotion. Your evidence is anecdotal. Where are your studies? How do you know that your maneuver has unequivocally saved more lives than back blows? Where is your proof that your precious back blows have saved more lives than my maneuver? The National Academy needs time to consider endorsing your method, Dr. Heimlich. We will discuss the matter amongst ourselves and make an announcement about our decision tomorrow. The 9-member committee retires behind closed doors. Outside, Heimlich paces anxiously. A fellow scientist stops to chat. How are you holding up, Heimlich? I can't believe they're even debating this. I mean, it's a no-brainer. Well, I don't know. But Heimlich is too in his own head to listen. He cuts him off. This all comes down to professional jealousy. They can't believe that I could come in and find such a simple solution after they spent years on their ridiculous gadgets and deadly backblows. It's a medical cover-up of Watergate proportions. Inside the boardroom, the debate rages on, deep into the night. Some scientists are swayed by Heimlich's evidence, but others are still bothered by the lack of hard data. Finally, after midnight, the committee chairman, Dr. Donald Benson, holds a vote. All right, all in favor of naming the Heimlich maneuver the primary method for aiding choking victims, say aye. Aye. All against? Say nay. Nay. 6 votes to 3. The ayes have it. But as the other members of the committee file out to get some sleep before the next morning's session, Dr. Benson lingers. He just can't get over Heimlich's lack of evidence. As a researcher, Heimlich strikes him as sloppy, someone who cherry-picks results. Sure, 500 people have been saved, but how many times was the maneuver attempted and the person died? There's no way to know. It seems risky to change national protocol without hard evidence. The next morning, a crowd gathers to hear the committee's decision. Heimlich tries to contain his nervous energy, but it's coursing through him. His foot taps. His hands shake. Dr. Benson approaches the podium. As the committee was not able to reach a universal decision, we will not be making a ruling on the best way to save a choking victim. Heimlich is furious. No one ever said the committee had to reach a unanimous decision in order to embrace his maneuver. He also knows if he had lost, Dr. Benson would have said so. Instead, Dr. Benson changed the rules of the game. On his way home, Heimlich considers his options. His technique had saved the lives of 500 people before it had even been considered by the committee. With even greater saturation, who knows how many people he'd save? Endorsement or not, he had to get his technique out there.
So endorsement or not, he had to get his technique out there. So that's pretty much game over for now with Heimlich. He's broken all the rules there are for being a doctor. He's gone around a controlled experiment. He's ignored the scientific method. The Red Cross will not endorse him. The National Academy of Sciences will not endorse him. Why? What's their problem with the guy?
Because he didn't follow the process correctly?
Yeah, exactly. Dr. Benson, one of the creators of CPR, was one of the members of the National Academy of Sciences voting board, convincing everybody else, no, we cannot endorse this guy because it's dangerous. How do we know people haven't been trying this and dying? We don't know. There is no way to know because it's not following any established protocol. So he's kind of, even though it looks like it's so similar to CPR, the people who created CPR refuse to recognize this guy. So he becomes this this outlier of the establishment. He's totally a rule breaker. Yeah. So next question. You see right here, he's on TV, and this is a popular TV host. Does anybody want to guess which TV celebrity this person is? All right, I'm gonna put the name. I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna type the name on top of the screen. You can Google it. Okay, Google the name. This was a popular American celebrity like 30 years ago. So it's about the basically like a Stephen Colbert or Trevor Noah.
He was a American television host.
Yes, he was an American TV host. Yeah, he was a very, very, very popular American TV host, kind of like a legendary TV figure. And there he is. So now this Dr. Heimlich goes from being a nobody in a basement punching a dog to being this famous guy, choking guy, but a reject, you know, an outsider for, of the profession. I mean, he's still a doctor. He can still practice medicine, but the National Academy of Sciences and the American Red Cross say, don't do this. Don't do this. What do you think he does to make himself a celebrity? That's the last question I'm going to ask before we finish the class. He's going to make himself famous.
Maybe he's trying to be around famous people.
Oh, very interesting. He will make him, he will put himself in front of other famous people, perhaps.
Maybe he's gonna do like a show and he is gonna invite people to his show.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. Any other thoughts?
He give the opportunity to the people to say whatever they want.
What do you mean?
For example, in some TV show, they have rules. They can say something for the audience, you know. They have like rules. Maybe he didn't have rules for people. They can talk about topics.
Okay. Are you talking about this guy, the famous guy, Johnny Carson, or the Dr. Heimlich?
No, the Johnny Carson.
Oh, okay. So maybe, okay. Interesting. These are all really good guesses. I'm going to ask, one of you actually is famous for this. Well, hold on a second. One of you is famous for this. How many of you made your own videos before? Has anybody here made a video?
What do you mean, like for YouTube?
Yeah. Or anything.
I never made a video, even for TikTok, anything.
Okay. So Jackie's made videos. Doris has made quite successful videos. Doris is a professional, if you don't mind me saying so, Doris. Let's see. All right. So in the 1970s, the technology available to make a video was not what it is today. I'm going to show you what he did. He made his own videos. He hired actors, and these are not really good actors, but if I would actually like, if I want to get everybody, I want to see everyone's facial expression. Here it is. This is Dr. Heimlich, and this is one of his videos. So he's playing himself, and he's hired actors for his video. I want to see some facial expressions of everybody while you watch this video. And then at the beginning of next class, we'll rate the video from 1 to 10. But I want to see the look on everybody's faces, just looking at this video from the 1970s, okay? Here we go. Or if you can't turn your camera on, just give some emojis of some type of facial expression. Oh, here's Bibiata. Okay, so, yep, so Gracie, Nankari, fraternities, I'd love to see your faces while you watch this video. This is one of Dr. Heimlich's promotional videos from the 1970s. It's on YouTube. It's the only one I've been able to find, but he made a lot of these. So here we go. We can rate it from 1 to 10.
They set up. Now get over. All right. You want to go over. Sorry about that. Serve it.
Okay, you guys, come and get it.
Cool here. Serve it to the lips. You almost lost the game for us.
Now, Susan, you have to be the worst volleyball player I've seen in my whole life.
And you have to be the biggest glutton I ever saw in mine.
You're going to pay for that.
Is this Coke mine?
Yeah, these legs are yours, too.
Hey, send me a leg.
Yeah, I'm going to. Right here. Are you all right? What's the matter with him? You look sick. You really look awful. Are you okay?
Pete.
What's wrong with him?
I think he's choking.
Well, do something. Don't you know what to do?
Choking can cause death in just 4 minutes. Each year, an estimated 4,000 Americans die in this way. Death by choking is caused by asphyxiation, as choking prevents breathing. The breathing or respiratory system is made up of these parts: the larynx or voice box, which is connected by the trachea or windpipe, which transports air to the lungs. The epiglottis forms a lid to the larynx in swallowing. During normal breathing, the epiglottis is open. During swallowing, it closes to prevent food from going into the windpipe as the food passes down the esophagus to the stomach. Choking occurs when a piece of food, candy, or even a plastic object presses down on the epiglottis, keeping it closed, or gets under the epiglottis. It thus blocks the top of the windpipe so air cannot rise. The piece of food acts like a cork in a bottle, and air cannot reach the lungs or get out. The victim cannot breathe, and this prevents him from speaking. Thus, the important clue to recognizing a choking attack is that the victim cannot speak or breathe. Dr. Henry J. Heimlich, a leading specialist in esophagus surgery, has devised a simple first aid procedure, the Heimlich maneuver, which has proven successful in saving the lives of choking victims.
It's very important to be absolutely certain that the victim is choking on food and not suffering from a heart attack, for example. You can be sure that he is choking on food if you look for these 3 symptoms. First, the victim of food choking cannot speak. You can check this symptom by asking him, "Can you talk?" If the obstruction is complete, he cannot breathe. If the obstruction is not complete, you may hear a wheezing sound. A heart attack victim, on the other hand, can breathe and may speak or complain of pain. The food choking victim cannot speak or breathe. Second, he turns blue. And third, he collapses. That is, he falls unconscious due to the lack of oxygen. The victim cannot speak, but he should not panic and run away from people who could help. He should use, and people should recognize, this simple hand gesture to communicate, "I am choking." However, you don't have to wait until all 3 symptoms appear before you use the maneuver that I'm going to teach you. Remain calm, but act immediately as soon as you recognize the first or second symptom. Do not wait until the victim collapses. Do not use mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. If you do so, you will realize that your breath is blocked from entering the lungs. Do not give the victim water to drink because he cannot swallow, and the water will remain in the back of the throat. Sometimes it's possible to reach into the throat with your fingers and remove an obstructing piece of food. However, you may push it deeper into the airway, and you may waste valuable time. Remember, you must be sure the victim is choking on food. Otherwise, by using the maneuver unnecessarily, you can cause injury. Would you please help me and take off your shirt, if you will? It's not necessary to remove the clothing when performing the maneuver on an actual choking victim, but we're doing so in order to demonstrate the maneuver more clearly. And this is how you perform the maneuver. Stand behind the victim. The rescuer places his arms around the victim's waist. Place your fist with the thumb side against the victim's abdomen, slightly above the navel and below the rib cage. Grasp your fist with your other hand. Press into the victim's abdomen with a quick upward thrust. Repeat if necessary. You see, there's always a large amount of air in the lungs. When you press here, you push upward on the diaphragm, which compresses this air, and the object pops out of the mouth due to this air pressure, similar to a cork popping out of a champagne bottle. If the victim is sitting in a chair, perform the maneuver in the same way from behind the chair. If the victim has collapsed or is too heavy to lift, place him on his back with his face upward. Would you care to try this, please? Kneel astride his thighs. Place one of your hands on top of the other and the heel of the bottom hand slightly above the navel and beneath the rib cage. Press into the abdomen with a quick upward thrust. Repeat that several times if necessary. Should the victim bring up food from his stomach, turn him quickly on his side, face down, and wipe out his mouth so that he will not inhale food particles into his lungs. Whatever position is used, immediately after the rescue, the victim should be examined by a physician.
Okay, so yes, there it is. He made his own video, but everything he was doing was not getting any approval from these two organizations. What does everybody think about that? He just started making his own videos.
I think that's evidence because they try it with people and has a lot of stuff to he said a lot of scientific stuff to approve himself.
What does everybody think about the acting? That's why I asked. That's why I wanted to see everybody's face, because okay, Viviana's like, is anybody? Do we have a lot of talented actors in the video?
No.
No.
My favorite part is like when he asked the guy to take. So you have the handsome guy in the front row, and apparently this was like this was 40 years ago, like a hairy chest with the whatever, and the brown like slim fit pants were apparently what was sexy in those days. So he says, take off your shirt. And then he's like, yeah, and the guy's ready to rip his shirt off. And he goes, oh, by the way, you don't need to take off his shirt, but I'm just gonna have you take off your shirt. And then he's like, he says to her, and then he says, another volunteer, oh, look, you have an attractive woman. Now jump on him. Everyone's being entertained. It's very subtle. Okay, yeah, this looks like it's going to save some lives. I'm convinced, Dr. Heimlich, you're a genius. Yes, this will work. Yeah, why not? Yeah, and you know what? He's wearing a white coat. The guy's wearing a white coat. He's wearing a white coat. He's got to be a doctor. Anyway. Of course, if he says it and he wears the white coat and the guy takes his shirt off, it's gotta work. Anyway, all right, I'll see you next time. Maybe tomorrow you could try this when you meet in person. Don't do that. But unless you're really inspired.
No. Sorry, teacher. But I am a frequent victim of that kind of situation, and my son is an expert of that. We have all the time that.
What did you think about the video?
It's exactly what my son do with me always. It's he became an expert when he was young, because I am always victim of that kind of situation, even with drinking liquid.
Wow. Okay, so maybe it does work.
Yes.
Okay.
For me, yes.
Who needs the Red Cross or the scientific method or whatever? All right. Okay. But if you start like choking each other in class tomorrow, it's not my fault. I didn't tell you to do that. Because then Ashley is going to be so confused. She's going to say, why are all the students trying to choke each other in class? I'm like, it's for their writing. Just, yeah, okay. All right. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.